everyone, it's your girl Coin. So if you're new here, thank you for popping by. Stick around and subscribe if you're coming back. Thank you so much for coming back. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing amazing. On this lovely sunny day. I just came back from Paris, France. Honestly, go to my Instagram if you want to see like travel stuff, because to put travel stuff on YouTube, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the Real Housewives of Lagos Part 2, the reunion Part 2. That's what I mean. Part 2 of the reunion was not given as much as Part 1 gave. It was very... okay, we'll get into it. But so Part 2 of the reunion kind of picked up on where Part 1 left off. However, we started off talking about Uti, the host, and his personality. And I was like, I actually don't care about your personality. I want to hear the gist between the ladies. But thankfully, that was very short and very quick. It was a very short and quick discussion where they were talking about, oh, Uti, which type of housemate, which housewife are you more like? And I was just like, I don't care. Move. It's not about you, Uti. It's about the ladies. So we quickly got back on track, which I was glad that happened. So last week, it was Toyin versus Caroline. Nothing explosive really happened apart from Caroline's mouth. We started off this episode talking about Toyin and Chioma and this rivalry that they seem to have. And they talked about, some of Toyin's comments towards Chioma about, she likes to make a grand entrance. She thinks she's this, she thinks she's that. And Chioma saying, focus on your focus. I don't think about you. Why are you always concerned about what I'm wearing, what I'm doing? And it was at this point where I started to realize that a lot of the things that happen, we as audience, as viewers, don't see it completely. And it's really annoying because you can't get the full picture. You can't really make a full judgment of what is happening. Both the ladies were asking for them to play the audio at the fashion show, Laura's fashion show, where apparently Toyin was showing Chioma her own fashion designs, which I think is inappropriate to do at your friend's fashion show. But then again, given the context, it might be okay to just say, oh yeah, I've done this, but not in comparison to what your friend is doing. I think that's a bit out of pocket. But they were talking about, play the audio. Producers not produce any audio. I was so annoyed because I really wanted to get clarity on what actually was said between them. I didn't understand why it got so fiery. I think Toyin is someone that really is passionate about her art, and it's very clear she doesn't play about when it comes to her business. She does not play. So any little slight that she might get, she takes it very personal, which is okay, but I think there might be times where she needs to regulate her emotions and just say, okay, this is my business, but I can't let my emotions over my business cloud how I treat people or how I react to criticism. Because really and truly, people will always criticize you. There will always be naysayers. So for you to just quickly think, oh, because someone's a naysayer, oh, let me get violent. What's that saying to your future clients? What is that saying? Anyway, the two ladies were going back and forth, but I wasn't really sure why they were going back and forth. It seemed really insignificant. Toyin threw a slight at Chioma and said, when I've gone to Brass and Copper, or when I've gone to your place, I've had bad meat. I was like, why are you bringing that one up if you know you don't want to be shady? Okay, whatever. It's been obvious that Toyin feels a little kind of way about Chioma and her fashion sense. I don't know what the questions are that they're asking Toyin in the confessionals to make her respond that way to everything that Chioma does in terms of fashion and outfits. But it's so annoying that every time she'll be like, oh, I'm the fashion maker, no one's trying to compete with you. So in this side, I kind of understood where Chioma was coming from. One thing that really pissed me off was when Toyin was like, oh, Chioma, the problem with you is you don't let people talk, you don't let people land. I'm still trying to talk. And I was like, the hypocrisy of it all. Last week, we saw her interrupt Laura. We saw her interrupt Caroline. She wouldn't let them speak. But this week, she knows that it's poor manners to interrupt someone when they're trying to talk. Interesting. Okay. Toyin came across insecure in this segment. I won't lie to you. There's some of the things she was saying, like, oh, because you know how to, because of the English that you're using. That just screams insecure to me. Because of colonialism, most people in Nigeria, their first language is actually English. But so what is the difference between what Chioma is saying and what anybody else on the stage is saying? It's just accent. That's the real difference. And I don't know why you'd feel insecure about an accent. There's an insecurity about her that I don't think she's really checked on or healed properly. She's speaking the same English that you are speaking. There's nothing different about it. Mariam tried to even facilitate the conversation, like, okay, can we move on? Iyabo even jumped in, like, can we move on? But Uti, the host, didn't properly control the situation. I don't know what type of training he's had, but it just ran amok. When Mariam had left, Uti missed the fact that Toyin was about to beat up Chioma. If it wasn't for the fact that security were there, I think she would have put her hands on her. And I was just thinking, Toyin, literally last week, Caroline said way more hurtful things than Chioma said. So why is it that you have so much more anger towards her? Like, to the point where you want to beat her up. Do you know what it means to beat someone up on live TV? It means you don't give a heck about the consequences. You do not give a heck. So I was like, wait, what? Because of she said you should go and color crayons. But like I said, maybe because Caroline didn't offend her art, and that's why Toyin feels that way. But again, regulate yourself. It's fair to say that Toyin might on-site Chioma at any given moment, because the way she was hot, it wasn't even making sense. But I also have to commend Caroline. Even though her and Chioma and Toyin, they're not on good terms, whatever. She said to Toyin, when Toyin put her hands, or was about to put her hands on Chioma, like, Toyin, stop it now. Like, it shouldn't go this far. Remember, last week, when Toyin and Caroline were going back and forth, who was laughing? Was it not Chioma? Interesting, cool. But when is you about to get attacked? Caroline said, like, stop it, like, relax. And it takes such a mature person to see, okay, this is getting a bit out of hand. But again, some people might say, well, she didn't get up to stop it. It was Iyabo that got up to stop it. Why would I be trying to put myself in harm's way over people that don't even like me? Please, 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 I beg. Don't even use that one as an excuse. It's not her duty to. She said what she said in a kind of fair and balanced way. But her face throughout the whole thing was just like, wow. Even some of the things that Toyin was saying, like, oh, she helped Chioma design boots. We didn't see that one. Like, producers, please, you guys need to be giving us the full story so we can actually give a full evaluation of what's going on. Something that Chioma said that angered quite a few people was, I think Toyin started speaking Yoruba, insulting her. And then Chioma said, no, don't speak all that bullshit Yoruba. The history of Nigeria means I understand why this would be such a sore point for anyone watching. I get it. I actually get it. But I also don't think that Chioma meant it in that way. Oh, everyone's going to be like, what? I don't think that Chioma meant it in that way. I think Chioma meant it in, like, she saw her do it to Caroline, where she'll be speaking Yoruba to Caroline. Maybe Caroline doesn't fully understand Yoruba. So Caroline last week gave it back to her and, spoke her own language and insulted her back. But this week, I think Chioma was like, I've had enough. You can't be cussing me in a different language just where I don't have the advantage to actually come back at you. Should she have said it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. But I get where she's coming from, because Toyin was doing it on purpose to exclude the women. So I get where Chioma is coming from, but it's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. And especially now that Nigeria's on the brink of, like, civil war. Let's leave the tribalistic comments. Like, let's just not do that. And they move on to Caroline and Chioma's friendships. And for some people, they found that looking back at the memories, like, really cute and adorable, and, like, it gives them feels. But for me, it just was awkward. It was so awkward to watch, especially after, like, the last episode of the actual season, where they just were saying the most horrible things to each other. It just felt like, oh my God, like, if only you knew your friendship was going to break down this bad. Like, this bad. It was so awkward for me to watch. You could tell that Chioma maybe had her feels, but Caroline a little bit. There was too much that was said. And Chioma is such a hypocrite. At the start, she was like, oh, if you tell me something, I won't say it anywhere, even if we stop being friends. But here she was reading everything that was said in confidence. And I have a question for Chioma. All the times that Caroline was saying this about everyone, what was your response in that time? Because for her to feel comfortable to say all these things, you must have been encouraging it as well. Let's be real. You must have been encouraging it. There's no way that I would feel comfortable to say all these horrible things about people if I didn't think that the person I'm actually speaking to will give me a plausible audience. Let's be honest. Do I think that there's some lies? Yes, but I also think there's some lies from Caroline's part, because there's some things that she said in the episode. For example, the Amala one was actually true, where she said, like, why are we talking about Amala? I think there's some things that is true, because when you're friends with someone, when you think you can be comfortable and vulnerable with them, you just say things. But I don't think everything is completely true. I think Chioma might have embellished some part, being the lawyer that she is, embellished some parts. So I don't think anyone is like completely honest, especially when we're not even getting the full picture from the production team. I don't think anyone's completely honest. Then Uti, the host, was asking, like, oh, what do you think about the friendship? He was asking Mariam and Iyabo. I was thinking, please don't ask those two. Please, just don't. People, they don't even fully like one of the person that you are asking about. So what unbiased response are you expecting for them? A shame, because Caroline really, really looked at Chioma with an open heart. She said, I didn't see any red flags, so I wasn't looking for red flags. And that made me sad. It's like when you just open your heart, you didn't even realize that you were letting someone that was going to be so, just so callous towards you into your life. And I felt sad for her, but it is what it is. Like, it's an L that you have to turn into a learning lesson. That's all I'll say. Uti did ask them, like, is there any point of redemption for you ladies? Caroline said, well, forget it. And I don't blame her. Imagine someone's calling you a gutter rat, this, and then the next week you're thinking it's possible for reconciliation. You must be high. You must actually be high. Laura was just sitting there catching cruise. And people kept thinking, Laura even said, oh, she feels redeemed. What does Caroline and Chioma have to do with Laura feeling redeemed? Laura's still chaotic. Laura's still weird as hell. Laura's still rude. You're still a bit wayward. Yeah. So I don't know why they even bothered to ask her why she feels redeemed. Uti should have asked her, why actually do you feel redeemed? What has this breakdown of friendship shown you about yourself? Because I don't get it. Then we went on to talk about Mariam and her bedroom in Dubai. That should have been cut. Who cares? And they were even just joking about it. Then they spoke about Iyabo and Caroline's drama. I still don't get it. Iyabo was talking for a long time and I still didn't get it. I think Iyabo, again, is someone else that needs to regulate her emotions. Someone can't be doing up gra towards you and the first thing you want to do is fight them, and you say you want to fight them so that you draw blood. That's madness. Because then why didn't Chioma react in a very crazy way towards Toyin? Why didn't Caroline react in a very crazy way? You need to regulate your emotions. And Auntie Iyabo, please go to therapy. If any time that you see something like that, it makes you want to kill someone or makes you want to draw blood, go to therapy. She got away with being like leading the group to ignore Laura and isolating someone. I think it's horrible to actually actively isolate someone as a group. I think it's such a horrible, nasty thing to do. Like, you all agreed that, okay, we're going to isolate you. So that means that you're capable of isolating anyone else. You're capable of deciding when to turn against anyone else. It's not a good character trait to have. It's not a good character trait to be able to orchestrate someone feeling alienated. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't even sound good to say. One thing that Iyabo said that made me realize that Chioma isn't... Well, I already knew she wasn't a good friend. She said that Chioma said that Caroline didn't mean her apology. Now, Chioma, if you're a real friend, why would you tell the person your friend is trying to apologize to that? What? Chioma? No, man. No. I still don't understand the beef between Iyabo and Caroline. It doesn't even make sense. How can something like someone just yelling make you blow up that much and make you want them to apologize like over and over and over and over again? Personally, it's so clear that Caroline apologized sincerely, and if I've apologized sincerely and you don't want to accept it, then it is what it is. We can cut our losses and just wave each other back. And then Mariam returning the gift. I like Mariam. I don't think she needs to go down this route of waywardness. And all this, like, what Chioma was saying behind Caroline's back, she's very silly. If somebody says, oh, this person's been talking about you behind your back, why wouldn't you just go and approach them and say, babe, Wagwan, like, what's going on? Why are you talking about me? Instead, you just chose to believe them and then return the gift of the reunion. You look silly. You look really silly. And I was annoyed that no one in the production team got the gift box and the Louis Vuitton bag off of Caroline's outfit or off the stage. It's just like, guys, the whole jazz, the whole, Caroline said that you should be careful of these Lagos girls. Every Nigerian that I know is superstitious. I don't know one single non-superstitious Nigerian one way or the other. Like, they'll tell you before you go to someone's house, or don't eat the food, or don't drink the... Like, everybody will know someone that will say, oh, don't... When you go to this person's house, don't eat it. You have to trust... trust is earned. But again, it is out of pocket, Caroline. If Caroline truly said that, that is wrong. And then they were talking about Toyin's broken leg. Did I sleep? Which episode was that one? Sometimes Carol and Chioma will be saying, "Oh, there was 2 months between an event and another event." I was like, we're missing so much as viewers, and I don't think it's doing us any justice. If there's going to be a season 2, we need to see things a bit more chronologically. We need to see what's happening. Like, how can Toyin break her foot and we didn't know? Was I sleeping during that episode? In my opinion, the ending did not truly give. Laura at the end was starting to mix up stories. And you know when they say, "Oh, does anyone have any final points?" Laura added her own final point, but it was just mixing up stories. I didn't think she was even coherent in what she was saying. Reunions are meant to make us as the audience feel like, okay, yeah, we have some relief. We can't wait for season 2. But I was like, this was not structured. Uti, the host, I don't know where he was sleeping. I don't know what he was doing. It wasn't properly facilitated. I take back some of the compliments I gave him from like the first part of the reunion, because this one was just like all over the place. There were some ladies that had more things to say. They were wrapping them up quickly. I was like, if you can waste 2 hours on trying to sort out Toyin and Chioma, can we as the audience at least get the full end conclusion of everything? Let everyone get it all out of their chest. But then again, some people might just want to keep talking. One thing that I really saw from Chioma in this episode was that as long as it doesn't affect her reputation, then it doesn't matter what is said. So if Caroline spills something that she said in confidence, then all of a sudden, oh my God, no, you're affecting my reputation. But if once the moment that it affects somebody else's reputation, she will spill. She'll just be spilling. So honestly, is there anyone that you can fully trust? No. I don't trust any of them. I think the girls are I think all the girls are beautiful, but let's be real. None of them are trustworthy. None of them are honest and really, really, like, there's some parts where, okay, you lied about that one, you're fabricating. Other parts, okay, I believe you. But none of them can be trusted. We don't really get the full picture. The ending was so poorly structured. And Uti went around asking the ladies, final words. What have you been your lessons? What are you now going to be doing going forward? Laura is so silly. Laura was like, yeah, more reality TV shows. I was like, okay, go ahead. But at least bring something else apart from BS. And a lot of them were talking about influencing. I think the only person that says anything that was really tangible was Caroline, which said, salt also looks like sugar. Toyin was just advertising. That one was just doing advertisement reel. And people just had a lot of upcoming projects that they're not saying anything about. See, this is what I mean about Nigerian superstitious. Or just generally, like, I think it's just a general thing where you don't say too much before you've completed it. But yeah, the ending wasn't given. It wasn't giving much. There were so many clips they could have used. They didn't even show Chioma and Caroline's actual fight. I was like, oh. Yeah, I need this production team to be a bit tighter. Just a little bit tighter. Just next season, if it does come back, I really do want it to come back, because I think this is the only Real Housewives I'm actually going to properly get into and still enjoy. There's some episodes I'm like, wow, okay, but I'm invested. I'm an invested housewife watcher now. Only this franchise. I cannot watch women argue for the life of me in all over the world. I just can't. I can't. And there's over usually meaningless things as well. It doesn't even matter really when you think about it. But Uti, in terms of Uti being the host next season, can we not? I would like to see someone older, someone who has a bit more authority. But from me, I've enjoyed reviewing the Real Housewives of Lagos. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys have too. Please comment, guys. Like the video. Subscribe. Next season, I might review, I might not. I might just go back to my video essays about anything that matters. But honestly, yeah, I had a good time. Watching this, and it's good to see Nigeria on this type of map. It would have been great to see it on a Kumbaya tip, but what Kumbaya? What is that? We need drama, love. We need drama. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day or evening. See you on the flip side. Bye.